this computer.
Got it.
Excellent, ladies. I think we're all ladies on this. Welcome to our first, and who knows, maybe one of future little webinars or seminars. And I'm really pleased to be able to introduce Natalie Cutler-Welsh. Natalie and I, by the way, my name's Cathy Mellett, and I think most of you might know me from some of the groups. And I am a mum to two of our little Yorkies that land up on play dates every now and again. But what we do have is Natalie and I have possibly known each other for about almost 10 years now. With the early advent of social media, I was obviously heavily involved in the digital marketing I do, and Natalie was the go-to girl and still is the go-to girl. Queen of networking, queen of connecting people, and queen of doing all sorts that she is an expert in. But it was possibly at the social media convention that we met each other for the first time face to face.
Yeah.
We've known about each other. We were both keynote speakers at that event. But it was only about 3 years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, Natalie, that I discovered that you loved essential oils, and you were possibly the person that actually loved them slightly more than what I did. Well, a lot more than what I did. So as the conversations have happened, and we're welcoming Cathy in, as the conversations have happened in the group, there have been a lot of discussions around natural remedies. There have been a lot of discussions around what's good for our Yorkies, what's not. And there's been a lot of people heading to the internet, and then you'd get the comeback, oh, you can't use peppermint because of this, or you can't use this because of that. So I thought this would be a great opportunity, Natalie, for you to share some knowledge. And again, what I'd like to urge everyone to do is to come to this with an open mind, to absorb all that Natalie has to give, but at the end of the day, feel that you're more informed to be able to take the decisions that you want to take for your fur babies. So with that, Natalie, I'd like to hand over to you.
Thank you, Cathy. Good to see everybody. So I've got a presentation planned, which is great because it gives us some nice visuals. And that's really great. Cathy's recording, so you guys can take notes if you want, but I'm sure we'll just give you the replay if you want to watch it again. Okay, and one thing I am also a dog nerd. I'm an oil nerd and a dog nerd. You literally show me any dog, even like a crossbreed, and I'll know like what it is, and I'll probably know its traits and characteristics. So I was the kid in the family. I'm the middle child. I was the pet kid. I don't know if you guys were, but like I feel like every family has one. I have 3 children, and one of them is my pet. He's my pet guy. We have guinea pigs, we have a cat, and we have a dog. We have a spoodle. So with that being said, let's get into it. I'm going to screen share my presentation, and it'll just take a moment for me to get it in front of you. And here we go. Okay. Thumbs up. Everyone can see it. Okay, great. As you can see, I tailored it for you specially. So here we go. I know. So listen, I'm just going to share some wisdom with you today. You're more than welcome to interrupt if you don't have to wait 20 minutes to ask me a question. So I probably do have 20 minutes or so of content, but definitely just interrupt with your voice if you have a question or something like that. That's no problemo. Here we go. So this is the Who Am I slide. I know Cathy's already introduced me. Thank you so much. So Natalie Cutler-Welsh. Yes, my business name is Go-To Girl, but my website is actually upyourbrave.com. And I have a wellness side of my business. So my business really is visibility. I work with women entrepreneurs primarily, and vitality. And this is the vitality side. I've been doing doTERRA essential oils for about 9 years now. And it's so exciting to weave together 2 things I love, oils and animals, specifically dogs. So that's cool. So I am a speaker and a business coach. I'm also an author, a mother of 2 teens and a tween, an oil geek, a human design coach, and a super connector, and a dog nerd. So this class, as Cathy mentioned, is really designed to empower you. So to give you wisdom and knowledge about essential oils. I think so that you have kind of options if your dog is not, doing so great. It's not feeling so good, or maybe like it got scared from another dog, or maybe it's anxious when you leave the house, whatever the case may be. Have a little think to yourself as I dive in about what are your main concerns and your main priorities for your loved fur baby. You can write them in the chat if you like, or you can just write it down on a piece of paper for yourself. I'll start off with some essential oil basics. So really basic is essential oils are aromatic compounds. They're found in plants. So what it is, it's either the leaves, the roots, the stem, or the flowers. And they are usually steam distilled or steam pressed. And they're 50 to 70% more potent than using dry herbs. So with doTERRA brand, which means of the earth, they're so pure and so potent, you only need a little drop. You can use them in cooking, you can use them topically, which means on your body or on your animal, and you can use them aromatically, which means breathing them in. I'm going to show you some examples in a moment. I think one of the most important things to know is they are a safe and natural alternative for health and wellness, for physical and emotional support, and they are non-addictive and very few side effects if used properly. And so that's the key. Like, I know you can Google a whole bunch of stuff and it'll tell you don't use peppermint or whatever. You actually can use peppermint, by the way. With dogs, the main thing is the ratio, the amount that you use. Remember, they're so pure, you need the smallest amount. So if you were to get a bottle of peppermint, which looks like this, it has 250 drops. That's going to last you a couple of years if you're only using it for pets. If you're using it for your personal use, which I imagine you would, it'll last a shorter amount of time because you're going to use it more frequently. But it's all about the amount that you use. So the quality of the oils is key, and the dilution of the oils is key. I'm going to cover all of that. So I'd love to empower you to support your dog, without having to rush to the vet for everything, because we know that can cost a lot. The brand of oil you choose is really crucial. Don't go to Kmart or wherever and just buy some random brand, because the testing is not great. They can literally say natural or 100% pure. And you don't want to have synthetic additives added to your oils, because it can be really disruptive. Not only the fragrance can really irritate the animals, but also with the hormonal disruption as well. You, of course, want to check the expiry as well, how they're stored. And so storage is going to be away from direct sunlight. So I keep my oils in a box or in the drawer in the kitchen, for example. We don't have them up on the windowsill. And they usually last for 4 to 5 years. And so that's quite a long time that they will last. So I'm just going to whiz through this because I have a lot of information here for you. But long story short, not all oils are created equal. I already mentioned that. The problem is there's no industry standard for testing. doTERRA tests their oils with a third-party lab, and they test them, I think it's 5 different ways for all sorts of things, for additives and fillers and for purity. So, and they are sourced from the country where they grow best. So we get our lavender from France, and we get the lemons from Italy, and they come from all over the world where they grow the purest and the best. I think I already mentioned this, that they're cold pressed. And as you know, essential oils have been around historically for hundreds of years. They are a beautiful natural option for people. So I've been using mine in my family, and I've had, my dog is now 7. So I was using the oils before the dog came along, and I have a cat, like I said. So I've been using oils around animals for the past 7 years. doTERRA is certified pure tested grade, and there's tons of research. The labeling is amazing. You can actually go to every bottle, and you can go to a website called sourcetoyou.com, and you can type in the number on the bottom, and you can find out what batch number it was and where it came from. So that's pretty cool. Let's talk a little bit about dilution to start. And then I promise you, I am going to get into specific oils for specific things. So you can dilute for topical use. Topical means putting it on the actual dog. And the way that we would do that is we would put it on our hands, our clean hands, and then we would pat the dog as usual. So you can do it along their spine. But usually I say go to the source of the problem, same thing you would do with a human. And if they had a sore tummy or an upset tummy, you would literally put the correct oil, which is Zengest or Digest Zen, and you would put that on their tummy. But same thing, you'd go 1 little drop in your hand, you would add some fractionated coconut oil, which is basically a great way to dilute. You would just add a drizzle of that, rub it on your hands, and then put it on their tummy. So you just need to rub it a little bit on their tummy. And it's really quite miraculous how quickly something like that, I'm going to say about 10 minutes, and the dog will be feeling better if they were feeling crampy and yucky or bloated. And then I imagine you would notice a difference in terms of their stools, the next day. So dilute for topical use. Do not use the oils. This is super important near the eyes, the ears, the nose, or the genitals. So basically, it's really just going on the main body parts. I will talk a little bit later about putting them on the feet, but we can do something like, you can do ear tipping. So on the tips of the ears, but we never put oils inside. This is for humans too. We never put oils inside the ears or inside the nose or into the eyes. So that goes for anyone that you're using them on. We also can use a diffuser for aromatic use. And this is so amazing. I've seen so many examples of when you put a calming oil in a room with like an anxious dog. And so this is what our diffuser looks like. This is one of them. And what you would do is fill it up with water. I don't know if you guys can see this because of my background, but you fill it up with water to the red marker. And then you just add 1 drop per hour. So if you're putting it on for, let's say, 5 hours, you can add 5 drops. But I guess if it's with animals, here's the thing. You always want to make sure that if they don't like the smell, they can leave. So I wouldn't put a diffuser, let's say, in the kitchen and lock the dog in the kitchen with the diffuser. If I hadn't. So what I'd like to do is put the diffuser on and probably just observe the animal, see if they like it or they don't like it. Some of them might come up and sniff it. Some of them might like run away. They might not like it, but you never want to like close the door and lock them in. So I'd say leave a door open. So if they don't like it, they can leave. But there are specific oils for specific things that I'm going to cover in a moment. As you can see from my slide, it says caution around animals that are pregnant, nursing, young, or has on certain medications. Do not use the oils using a topical medication, dermal patch. Do not give products containing, so don't give them like toothpaste and things like that. Only use certified pure oils. And like I said, observing the pet's behavior is really important as well. A few other things, always diluting. I'm going to mention that quite a lot. And if they have any sort of skin irritation, then maybe you don't use it, but usually you would use the oils because they have a skin irritation and you'd be using it to help them. Some oils to avoid with dogs. This is a great list, maybe to make a list of, but I'm going to give you a list of oils that are fine to use with dogs. So one of the ones that is a little controversial is tea tree, because a lot of people think, oh, I've used tea tree with my dog, but it is probably the only oil when I'm working with humans and selling them oils for their wellness. I usually say, if you have a dog, just don't mop the floor with tea tree because it gets on the pads of their feet. You can use it for cleaning. You can use it in the diffuser. It has it's great for nits and dandruff and things like that on a human, but generally we tend not to use tea tree, is the one that I usually mention. Okay, so just generally speaking, 3 super cool things about essential oils is they're, like I said, safe if you use them properly. And I'm going to go into some benefits of how you use them. They're effective, like they work really quickly because they're so pure. And if you do the math, they're actually really affordable because each bottle has 250 drops and you only need the smallest amount. So compared to your dog being sick, or if you're using them for yourself being sick, going to the doctor, time off work, all the hassle and feeling unwell, they're actually such a beautiful way to bring your body back into balance. And I imagine dogs, just like humans, we are designed, our body is designed to heal. So we just give the oils as a bit of support to help the body do what it's designed to do. I already mentioned this, 3 different ways to use the oils. With the pets, we really focus primarily on aromatic, which is breathing them in, or topical, which is touching them onto the body, and not so much adding them to the water. Although you can do that with certain oils, but I'm really focusing on the other 2 types. So bring to mind, I'd love to invite you to think about 3 top health concerns for your pup. If anyone wants to share any. What's that?
Anxiety is a biggie for anxiety.
Thank you, Di.
Fireworks or being left at home.
Yeah.
That kind of anxiety. It could be other anxieties as well.
And Natalie, the one that I've used, but I'll raise it here, is car sickness.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to talk about all of those. I'll definitely talk about those. Anything else you want to throw in the ring? Anxiety, car sickness.
Yeah. Is there something for a lot of them suffer from the problems in their paws? You know, they bite at their paws all the time.
Okay. Is that
Is
really
there
quite
something?
common? Okay. So
Yeah.
the paws get, did they get discolored or irritated?
I think I don't know if they're sore or itchy. I know it's allergy. Actually, perhaps the word would be allergy related. It is an allergy related condition normally.
Okay. Okay. Well, I've got a few slides prepared, so I'm going to cover most of those things. If anyone else thinks of anything as we go, just mention it or at the end. Do any of the other ladies want to throw any other things in there? Concerns?
No, I think probably just anxiety. My dogs aren't super anxious.
Oh, Kath, your audio's a bit glitchy. Can you go? Is she glitchy
Get a
for you
little bit
guys?
anxious
Yes,
in the
That's better?
car traveling, but that's about it, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's perfect now. Sorry, it was a bit glitchy, but I got you. I got you. Anxious and
Yep, anxiety is good.
anxious in the car traveling. Yeah, that's going to be super common. So we've got the physical, like they don't feel well, but also the anxiousness. Oh my gosh, here I am going on about dilution a bit more. Okay, so I'm gonna, sorry, anyone else with their top three?
No, mine was similar, Natalie. So
Okay.
nothing to add.
Okay, perfect. You might come up with a few other things. I can talk about fleas as well. Let me write that down so I don't forget. Okay.
Oh yes, that's good.
So with the dilution, and I'm sure if you have other oils like almond oil or something, that could be fine. But I really only like to speak about the one that I know, which is our fractionated coconut oil has had the fat removed. So it's not super greasy, and that's really beneficial. Why would you add the oil? Because the doTERRA oils are so pure, we want to dilute them. It actually helps them to absorb into the body, and also just makes it a lot safer for the puppy. So even for humans, we always say when you're using them topically, you want to dilute them. Okay. You can always add more coconut oil if you can always use less, but start off with a bit more. Each animal is individual. Obviously, we're talking about Yorkies, and they're very small, right, compared to most dogs. So again, we want to treat them like almost like a baby. We want to treat them like, really just minimal amount of the oil. So how to use oils with dogs? Topically, dilute. You can do direct application on the spine, like I mentioned, but just to make sure I really make this obvious, we're not dripping the oil down their spine at all. We're putting it on our hands, clean hands. We're adding the coconut oil, and then we're just rubbing down their spine because dogs are used to being patted, obviously. So it won't be that surprising to them that you just put that down their spine. It's a great way to get it into them. Obviously, you're wanting it to go not really onto the fur. You're wanting it to go into the spine. We do that for humans as well. We can absorb it into our body. We also would put it with humans behind the neck and also into the soles of the feet. So you can do the same thing with your pets as well. But the pads are really thick, and it's almost like putting oils on your fingernails. So they won't really absorb very well. So what you want to do if you're using oils on the feet is put them in between the pads. And so you just want to kind of press the oils from your hands just into the in-between spaces. And we would do that probably for the irritated paws. And I'm just going to throw out some ideas. I would be looking at cedarwood oil, which I don't even know if I have it in my slide deck, but that's why I've got a lot of oils in my brain. So I'll put that on the table. Cedarwood oil is an amazing oil for so many things. One of the ways I use it with my family is if someone has a fingernail that they cut too short and it's getting infected and it's starting to sting, or an ingrown hair, or a fungal, or not a fungal, like a toenail that's infected, anything like that. It helps. It's like an antiseptic. So also it's just so great with those skin things, but it's quite gentle, which is why I think it's so great for dogs as well. And it's really calming. It does smell like wood chips. It smells like, like you've just put some wood chips on your garden or something. So it smells quite pleasant. It's quite woody. It's very calming, and also antiseptic properties. You can, for example, you can put it in a bath. Like, I don't know if you bath your dogs, but you don't want to get it in their eyes, but you can do that onto the paws topically, or if you want them to stand in water. I think Cathy gave me an example beforehand. If your dog burns its feet, for example, in the summer, you know how the pavement can get super hot, then you might want to put lavender on their paws. And that's another time you'd be doing it straight to the paws. Okay. So you can also massage your dog. Has anyone ever taken their dog to like a doggy massage? I have. So it's really good
I've
for,
thought about it.
yeah, it's really good for calming them, like to a proper dog massage person. But you can use oils on them to massage them, put it on the reflexology points. I do have a slide coming up, I'm pretty sure, where I show you the reflexology points. Ear tipping, where we're putting the oils just on the tips of the ear. Like I said, never inside the ear, just on the tips. But again, we'd have it on our hands, and then we just touch the little tips of the ear and doing it that way. That way it can be aromatic. They are still smelling it, but you're not putting it on their nose. Go to the point of the problem. That means area of interest. So if they have a sore tummy, we're putting a tummy oil on their tummy. You can put oils in the shampoo. Like I mentioned, cedarwood is great, by the way, for fleas. You can put some on the flea collar. One of the things you could do, sorry, not on the flea collar, on the collar. One of the things you could do is use like a citronella oil and cedarwood oil. And you can either put it in a spritzy bottle. This is what I do for my cat and my dog, but also you can take the dog's collar and you can soak it in water with cedarwood and citronella, and then just let it dry and then put it back on. Yeah.
It's Cathy here. Just a little bit of a thing that I noted, because when I got my babies, they were only 900 grams, as I'm sure everyone else was. So they were really small. And because I've used essential oils continuously, I'm just thinking, as you put anything onto the collar, and I noted that with these little ones, is the first time that it happened, they pulled away their little nose. However, you know, months on, they now accept the fact that there are numerous smells that surround them. And so the smell has not become something that they react to anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Because I think at the start, when you introduce something, obviously dogs are way more sensitive than we are in terms of smelling things. They can even smell it from a bottle. You don't even have to take the lid off. So sometimes people do that. They call it self-selection, and they would hold the bottle up to the dog's nose, not like with the lid still on. And they can either turn away, or they might even like try to lick the bottle. That's also why we have the lid on, but their noses are so sensitive. But yeah, sometimes they're not sure about something, but then later on they do like it. So it really comes back to, what is the problem? Like with the dog, is it anxiousness? We're going to use an oil that helps for anxiousness. And like I said, there's multiple oils, like lavender helps with anxiousness. You can write that down. So does cedarwood. They might not like lavender, but they will like cedarwood. So you know, if they don't like it and they're really not liking it, then you can try something else. So you can also make a hot or cold compress. And like I said, you can put it in a spray bottle. We also sometimes make up a rolly bottle, and we can use that too. But I tend to just recommend getting the oils like this that are undiluted, and just getting a coconut as well, because that way you can use those oils in a diffuser. This is one diffuser. The other one, sorry, it's just a picture. It looks like that. It's wooden. I've got an image of it coming up. All right, let's move along. Are we going okay for the pace and the fact that I talk quite quickly?
Yeah,
Everybody?
So far, yep, because we can listen to it again if we need to.
Yeah, okay.
You're doing well.
Thank you. So let's talk a little bit more about aromatic. So diffuser, as I mentioned, spraying it into the air. If you have a spritzy spray bottle, I mean, I have one in our bathroom and I use it as an air freshener. But you might, you know, if the dog makes the house smell a bit stinky, you can use some oils as an air freshener, but you're not using yucky synthetics from the grocery store. You're using pure oils. And that really does make a difference to the health of the whole family. So you can spray them in the air. They can breathe them directly. So let's say you put oil on your hand, you can hold it up to their nose. Hold it up to their nose. Don't rub it on their face. You're just holding it up, and they might come in and have a little sniff. Let's say it was lavender to calm down. And they might have a little sniff, or you can put a little bit on their collar. You can have it on a cotton ball. You can put some on their bedding. So you might decide to just put a little drop of lavender on their bedding. That's a really great way to do it. Or you might want to spray their bedding with the cedarwood citronella blend that I mentioned. So many options, humidifier, fan, things like that. But I really would recommend, I think the diffuser is going to be your best option. Okay, I'm going to start getting into some oils now that are really great for pets. I'm starting with this one. It's actually one of the more expensive oils, but Dr. Janet Rourke, who is an amazing vet in America, she's all about the essential oils, and she mentions this is one of her top favorite ones. So I thought I may as well include it for you. For everybody, she loves myrrh. It's a very thick syrupy oil for oral health. That's why I mentioned it. Oral health, wound healing, itchy skin, thyroid support, and more. Myrrh oil has powerful cleansing properties, especially for the mouth and the throat. It is soothing on the skin when applied topically, promoting healthy, smooth skin. It promotes emotional balance and well-being when diffused. It can be used aromatically, topically, and internally with all species. So I really wanted to highlight, this is from a vet. So it's not about humans. It's actually talking about dogs. Obviously, you can do that with humans as well. So if you had a problem with your mouth, myrrh, put it on your list. I have to admit, it is kind of pricey, but every oil is priced differently according to how hard it is to source. This is lemon. Lemon's like $17, so it's probably one of the cheapest oils. Lemon is amazing. Anything citrusy, you guys, anything citrusy is uplifting and happiness. So for your anxious dog, you're not just thinking lavender and calming oils. We can think happiness oils too. And you can put them together in a diffuser. You can put a calm oil and a happy oil. So lemon is one of many citrus oils that we have. It's so amazing for cleaning. If you want to use it to clean out their cage, or like my cat is in the laundry, so I sometimes will use the lemon when I clean, that in that area, because I know it's natural for her. It purifies the air and surfaces. It's non-toxic. You can use, this is interesting. So you can use it in their drinking water. You can see that there's a little doggy bowl there in my picture. 1 drop per 2 cups of drinking water in a non-plastic dish. We always recommend not plastic, because what does lemon do? It actually leaches out the toxins. Often I'll say to people, if you buy blueberries, put a bit of lemon oil in water and soak your blueberries. It literally strips off the pesticides, or your strawberries or your grapes or whatever. So similarly, we don't want to use it in a plastic water bottle for ourselves or a plastic bowl for an animal. We want to use stainless steel or glass, whatever, or a ceramic bowl. It's also good for healthy respiratory function. It's uplifting. It helps them to feel happy. And I don't know if you guys get this, but if your dog, oh yeah, I know, those stickers on apples and fruit, like sometimes my dog will get one of those stuck in her fur and you have to just kind of rip it off. But if you had, like, let's say there was some gum stuck in your dog's fur, because I know some of your Yorkies have the long coat and some of them will have the short coat, but you can actually use lemon to get rid of like sticky stickers and things like that on an animal, but also just in your day-to-day house. So that's lemon.
It is because I load the ground and chewing gum.
Yeah, you can use.
No.
There you go. This is a great one, you guys. And 2 people were asking me about car sickness. So this is great for both anxiety and car sickness. So travel sickness. If your dog eats, I don't know if your dogs ever do this. It's such a Labrador thing to do. But let's say your dog got hold of some food and ate way too much of human food, or grabbed a sandwich when no one was looking or something like that. And they can get really bloated and feel super yuck. So Digest Zen oil, I'm sorry, they've renamed it. Now it's called Zengest. It's the same thing. So I'm going to call it Digest Zen oil, is great for the digestive system. Ironically, it has fennel and ginger and aniseed in it. It smells like licorice. And it is amazing and very immediate. This is the one I said within 10 minutes, your dog will be feeling better. Obviously, you can use it for yourself as well. So it helps to maintain healthy digestion. It helps reduce bloating. By the way, you can take a photo of this if you want on your screen, if you want to take screenshots of anything, or I can send it to Cathy as a PDF if you like. Maybe we can figure that out. It helps reduce bloating and gas and indigestion. So like I said, if your dog is doing like runny poos or in the house or whatever, obviously they're not feeling great. You want to help support them. This is the oil you're going to want. It also eases feelings of queasiness. So this is if they're traveling, let's say they're traveling on a plane or maybe in the car beside you, and they don't feel well. You can put it on a human. We would put it on the pulse points here on the wrists where I'm touching. On a dog, you can put it on their collar. You can do it, like I said before, on the pads of their feet. And we would take the oil, 1 drop only, drizzle of coconut oil, and then putting it on the pads. But remember, we want to get it past the pads, really in between those pads to get it into them, or right onto the tummy is probably the best spot, because that'll help too. You can apply topically or internally. So yeah, you can put it in a little bit in water and have them drink it. I don't know if they will. It will taste like licorice. The other thing she suggests as well, the vet, the doTERRA vet, is using TerraZyme as well, so if your dog has lots of tummy problems, there are a few other options, and one of them is called TerraZyme. So it's something you would sprinkle onto their food. Let's talk about frankincense. Who's heard of frankincense before? Frankincense is known as the king of oils. It is also one of the more expensive ones, but it is so worth its weight in gold. Frankincense is the oil of healing and abundance. If your dog, for example, had surgery, so I know someone earlier was talking about getting their dog neutered or spayed, and sometimes they will have stitches and things like that. So this can really help them to heal and not get scarring. And so it helps things to heal. I would say when the wound is fresh, we don't want to be putting frankincense on it. We would more put it topically around the wound area, not on the actual wound. But if the wound is infected or looking yuck, we're going to go for cedar wood. That's the oil. Remember the antiseptic oil that I mentioned? It won't sting. It's very gentle. It's also very calming. So back to frankincense, it promotes healthy cellular function, good for skin health, relaxing for their mood. So again, this is going to be great for your anxious dogs. It smells like wood, so it doesn't smell like lavender if they don't like the lavender smell. It can soothe aches and pains if they have sore joints. You might want to do it topically, put it on their knees, go to the source of the problem, or put it up and down their spine. You can use it aromatically in the diffuser, or topically or internally. And we usually say, when in doubt, get frankincense out. So if you're like, I just don't know what's wrong with my dog, I don't know what's going on, frankincense is the go-to oil. And you only need a drop, so it'll last you a long, long time. These photos on the left are really interesting. So this is a dog, and these are the dates here, where this dog had this kind of lump, and you can put frankincense diluted onto a lump. And she said that she was a little bit slack. She didn't apply it very regularly, but then she took this photo, and she was just showing the difference. It really should heal a lot faster. So I would say you'd probably want to do it daily. A little bit of frankincense with coconut straight onto that lump, and it can help to shrink that lump or to heal it. This is an example of a dog. I think it was a dog that got in a fight. Well, our lab after a fight. Yeah, this is 1 week, no cone yet. He was just licking the oils off. And it's no problem if they lick the oils, by the way, because they're allowed to have them internally. So it'll actually help them to heal anyway. And then 1 week later with a cone, and then another week later with a cone. So what we're doing is it's just helping the body to do what it's designed to do, which is heal. So that's really cool. Let's talk about copaiba. This oil came out probably 3 or 4 years ago. They sold more of this oil in 1 month than they thought they would sell in a whole entire year. It comes from Brazil. One of the reasons they sold so much is because it's our doTERRA's version of cannabis oil. So it is very, very calming, but it doesn't make you hazy and daisy. So it doesn't have that CBD effect, but it is very calming. So from a human perspective, I usually say if anyone has concussions or anxiety or, suffers from stroke, we've had a lot of people see amazing results. So let's now talk about dogs, anxious dogs, or I don't know if your dog would get a concussion, but if they did, you definitely want to be using copaiba. But it's got a lot more benefits. It's got many body benefits and emotional benefits. So it's very calming. It's the chill out oil. Chill out, everybody. It's all good. So whether they're anxious with their traveling or they're just anxious when you leave them to go shopping or to go to work, you can put it in the diffuser. You can put a little bit on their collar or rub it on their fur off your hands. So it's very, very versatile, has cardiovascular, immune, digestive, urinary, respiratory, musculoskeletal, and nervous system benefits. So it's got, like I said, those body benefits and the emotional. It's a powerful antioxidant. It relaxes sore muscles and joints, eases the urinary tract. So again, we could put it topically, right? Not on their genital area, but just the lower abdomen and the digestive tract. It supports the hepatic system. I don't actually know what that is. Promotes lymphatic flow, supports the upper and lower respiratory tract. So with a human, it's really good if someone has asthma. So let's take that to dogs. If any dog has breathing problems, like respiratory problems, this is going to be an oil you're going to want to get. It's so versatile. I can't say enough good things about it. It is emotionally relaxing. It can be used to help soothe and calm anxiousness and decrease the stress and feelings of overwhelm, like I mentioned before. So that's a great one. It smells like wood. You're going to think all of our oils smell like wood. A lot of them, so remember what I said at the start, citrus oils are happiness. They're uplifting and happy. That's your lemon. Anything from the wood is very grounding. So it'll help us feel grounded and present and centered. That's for a human, but same thing for a dog. It'll help them to be present and grounded and not so anxious and just more calm and more chilled out. Any of those wood oils, the cedar wood, the frankincense, the copaiba.
Natalie, if we
Yes.
look back at the copahiba, and I'm,
Mhm.
you know, obviously no one ever wants it, but there have been cases where where pets have got things like kennel cough.
Mhm.
Do you think something like copahiba would help with that?
Yeah, definitely, because it's helping with that respiratory system. So I would probably be using it topically. So on the hand with some coconut, we go to the source of the problem, which is the throat. So you can like rub it on their throat area. And that should definitely help. I would probably be diffusing it as well. In a diffuser. Now, by the way, I want to mention about diffusers. Sure, you can go to Kmart or I don't know, the warehouse or something and buy a diffuser. Here's the difference with the doTERRA ones. They have a metal plate inside and they are ionic, which means it vibrates. And so it's not a humidifier. It's not putting moisture into your house. It's not going to make your house mildewy and damp. And that's the most important thing. You want to have this, it has a dry, if you put your hand on top when you've got it plugged in, when it's working, it will be just like a dry mist coming off. And that puts the oils into the air topically. They breathe them in through their nose. They absorb them through their skin. And that's how it gets into their system as well. You guys, can you hear me okay? Okay.
Yes, good, great.
The audio just changes when I put something in front of my microphone. So great question. Thank you, Cathy. You guys are doing amazing. We have 10 slides left. So the next one is peppermint. And remember in the start, Cathy said, you know, people will Google things and they'll say, oh, we're not meant to use peppermint. The main thing is you are actually definitely allowed to use peppermint, but we don't go using truckloads of it, especially on our Yorkies because they're tiny. So peppermint, it is a great, you know, natural toothpaste. I mean, you know, you can put a little bit in their water is what I'm saying. Don't drop it into their mouth. It helps alleviate occasional stomach upset. Well, that's because it's one of the ingredients in that digestive tummy blend. It promotes healthy respiratory function because it helps them to breathe better and breathe more clearly. And it helps to keep animals cool in summer. I don't know if Yorkies have this problem, but a lot of dogs that have a lot of fur would get overheated. You can put a little drop of peppermint in their water if you want, or you can just put a little bit on the back of their neck, like we would do with a menopausal woman, just to cool down their temperature. And we, you know, what we would do with a little baby that had a fever, we would put peppermint on the soles of their bare feet with coconut oil, and we would put socks on because, you know, babies love to suck on their feet, right? And so it's the same thing with dogs. We would put some peppermint either in a spritzy spray and spray it in the air, and then it can go onto their coat, or you can rub it on the back of their spine, or you can put a little bit on the back of their neck and it cools them down, or the pads of their feet. If they do lick it, it's fine, but they probably won't because it's very minty. But personally, if they don't like the taste, just put it there behind their neck. I don't know if Yorkies get overheated or not.
Can do,
Sure.
yep.
Okay.
Can do.
But so peppermint is cooling. It cools down anger. It cools down a fever. It cools down your hot temperature. Lavender is calming. It calms down a bug bite, a bee sting, a burn, a bruise. Anyway, that's a little side note for you. Now we're going to talk about balance oil. Do you like how I threw in the photo? So balance oil is another one of these wood oils. So it smells like a pine tree, like a pine forest. It is relaxing and grounding. It promotes mental tranquility and balance. It helps them to have a restful sleep, comforting. You can apply it with or before other oils. This oil, in fact, already has coconut oil added to it, so it is already a bit blended. You can diffuse it in the car. We do have things called car diffusers that you plug into the vent thingy, and it kind of puts the oils in the car. Or you can I keep a spray bottle in the car, and if my car gets really stinky, I just like spray the car when no one's in it. It helps to ease anxious feelings, and it helps to support the nervous system. You can apply it topically or diffuse it. So I've given you guys a lot of options when it comes to the anxiety question. So we've already talked about balance. We've talked about copaiba. I mentioned cedarwood, and we're just about to talk about lavender. Oh, this is interesting. I call this the shouty mom blend. So I work a lot with moms who have kids. And if you get really frazzled as a parent, like you guys might get really frazzled because your dog's barking and you find yourself getting frustrated, and then the dog gets anxious because you're frustrated, you can use it on yourself as well. You can put it on your hand. Watch this, breathe it in. Okay, so we're going to drop it in our hand, breathe it in. That's aromatic, breathing it in. Now you can add coconut oil, put it on the back of your neck. That's topical. Now you're going to be more grounded and calm. Guess who else is going to be more grounded and calm? Your dog. Also, if you have other pets and anyone have a cat and the dog and the cat don't get on, or another dog and there's sometimes sibling rivalry, anyone? Hands up. This is like the sibling rivalry blend as well. You can use it to just calm. Okay, everyone, calm your farm. So you can use it to calm your farm.
So
Okay.
quickly, just on that one, because we'll be putting this up on that Yorkie website. So if you were bringing a new pet into an environment, would balance be a really good oil for that, because you're calming the farm?
Yeah, great idea. Introducing a new animal, for sure. Or let's say someone's coming to stay with you and your dog gets anxious when new people come around. You can use any of these calming oils, but the one that she called the sibling rivalry oil was Balance. I'm just going to flick my light on. I can't see myself, so I don't know how dark I'm looking at the moment. I'll be right back. I normally present in the daytime, so I'm not very equipped with my lighting. So I hope you can see me okay, or at least see the screen.
We can.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Amazing. So let's talk about the long anticipated lavender. Lavender is one of those oils. Everyone's heard of lavender. You either love it or you don't, but lavender is amazing and everyone just thinks it's for sleep, but it's not. It's for the bees that I mentioned before, the burns, the bites, the bruises, and the bumps. I don't imagine your dog will get a lot of those, but just for human use, if you burn your finger making biscuits on the cookie tray, straight away you would put lavender on it. So let's take that to a dog. If your dog burns their feet because you're walking on the pavement and it's super hot, you can put a little doggy foot bath and put lavender in it and have them stand in it. Or you can apply it topically straight to their feet. But remember, you want to put it on the pads because that's what is burnt. But also you can put it in between as well. So it'll help with anxiousness and it'll help with that burn. Lavender is calming and relaxing. It helps to soothe itchy skin. So coming back to the question about the paws and the licking, you could go lavender plus cedarwood. So one, a drop of each. The drops come out really fast, by the way. So you just don't shake the bottle or anything. Drops come out really quickly. Add some coconut oil, put it on their paws. You can put it right on the paw, like not just the pads, you can put it right on the paw. And that combination, I imagine, would be really great for itchy skin. You can do lavender separate or cedarwood separate, but I kind of feel like both of them together would be amazing. If your dog has sores or anything from over licking, we're going to use that frankincense or the cedarwood. If anything looks like it's getting infected, we're going to go for that cedarwood. That's that antiseptic. So lavender also great for the car or peaceful sleep. It can be used topically or diffused or internally, but I wouldn't really, that's not like they're going to drink it in their water. And there's a few other options in IQ Mega, which is a supplement as well, if you need that. So lavender is amazing. It's so versatile. I would love to know, just with a thumbs up, has anyone learned anything new that they didn't know before, on my little session today? Great.
Quite a bit.
Good. Cool. Let's talk. This is interesting. I wasn't even aware of this before, that, with dogs, you can use breathe oil as well. This is such a popular oil with humans. It's the respiratory blend. It's for the S's: sleep, sinuses, snoring, sneezing, stress. Same thing with dogs. It does have peppermint in it as well. So peppermint is very helpful with the respiratory, but breathe has a few more other things in it. You can put it in the diffuser. You can use it and just hold it up to your dog's nose to breathe in, but I probably wouldn't be rubbing it on their nose because of the peppermint. It would definitely sting and they'd rub their face on the carpet and things like that. It promotes clear airways. Oh, you can use it topically as well, diluted with a lot of coconut. It supports the overall respiratory health. It maintains easy breathing. Like this would be a great one for pugs because you know how their faces are so smushed. Use diffused or topically. Diffuse at night for a restful, quiet sleep. Sometimes animals and people aren't sleeping well because they're not breathing properly. It's not that their mind is busy, it's they just don't breathe properly. So sometimes we can add the breathe and the lavender to the diffuser and you can have a better night's sleep. This is a little bonus one I threw in. I don't want to overwhelm you with too many options, but I wanted to mention this for our senior dogs. Does anyone have like a dog that's a bit older? Okay, perfect. So yeah, exactly, Cathy. So the Aroma Touch is such an amazing oil. It has about 5 different oils within it. It's called the Massage Blend. I don't know how to describe it. It kind of smells a little bit like muscle rub, so that wintergreen smell, with a little bit of, I don't know if it's basil. Anyway, it's kind of this. coriander or something like that. Yeah, it's a really lovely blend. So it is the massage blend. It's what we would recommend for people as well for massages, but it's just going to be so good for your joints, the dogs, healthy joints and muscles. You can apply it topically. You can actually massage your dog. Perfect for senior dogs. You can use it with other things as well. Supports that lymphatic flow and circulation, which is super important. And it relaxes tense muscles and sore joints. So again, if your dog is anxious, right, their body is probably much more tight and tense. So this can just help everything to relax. Or if they're just older and their joints hurt when they go for a walk or anything like that, this can just help and make them a little more comfortable. Okay, let's go to you guys. I know you've been volunteering a bit of information as we go, but does anyone have any questions at this point or any stories that you want to share? If you've had any experiences already with oils, usually some people in my audience do, and they want to share those. Anyone want to ask anything or share anything?
I think I've got a lot of purified oils in my cupboard for a start off.
Well, if it's a different brand, you just want to think about it might have additives and fragrance and things like that that really irritate yours. It irritates you. Yeah. It can irritate your body system as well as your pets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our babies get a lot of pancreatitis. They're inclined to get it.
Interesting.
That would be the which one would I use? I'm going
to look that up. I'm feeling like juniper berry, but I'm going to look it up in my app because it'll be the same for people as well.
Natalie, I actually think it is because pancreatitis is all around the liver, and often it actually comes from pent-up frustration from an emotional perspective.
Yeah.
And from memory, I think you're on the money with juniper berry.
Okay, I'm just looking it up in my app. Yeah, the pancreas is located behind the stomach, responsible for producing insulin and other hormones and producing pancreatic juices that aid in digestion. So some of the oils it recommends is the respiratory blend, which is that easy air one. So that's interesting. So that's going to help with their breathing. Lemon oil, topically and aromatically. It actually doesn't have juniper berry here. Let me see. I thought it would. Juniper berry is great for urinary infections, you guys. I don't know if dogs get those, but definitely for people.
Yes,
and
they do.
Okay, so juniper berry, by the way, interesting, tinnitus, nightmares, and urinary infections. And that just shows you how versatile the oils are. Every oil is good for a multitude of things. But anyway, let's come back to your pancreas question. It actually says cypress as well. And protective blend, which is On Guard, which I think is coming up in my little slideshow. So I'll just keep moving unless anyone has any other questions.
I was just going to quickly ask about the what do you call it?
The coconut oil.
Yeah, fractionated. Yeah. Where do you get that from?
So we sell this. This is the doTERRA brand. Here's the difference. Regular coconut oil, which you might have in your kitchen and you use in the baking, and that's fine. It's super greasy, as you know. And so that's why I would recommend doTERRA. I think this is about $15. Cathy, maybe you can check for me. I don't know. But this will last you for ages. And it has fractionated, which means it's had the fat removed, which means it's not as greasy. It is still an oil, but it's not greasy like the kitchen one. And that way it's not going to make, let's say your dog jumps on the bed and they're not going to get your bed sheets all greasy because they've got the oil on their feet. Or if you're using it topically on your throat, you're not going to get your clothes all greasy. That's why we would recommend that. Yeah, so we would get that through us. And at the end of this slideshow, I'll talk to you guys about how you can order if you want to get started. Or you can $19. Yeah, thank you. Awesome, great question. Thank you.
And does that smell like oil, like coconut?
No, it actually smells like nothing. It doesn't smell like coconuts, that's for sure. Whereas the other one does smell like coconuts. Yeah. Good questions. Thank you, Kath. Okay, so, well, here we go. I thought I had a picture of On Guard. Okay, I didn't. So for those of you that are wondering about getting started, there are so many different oils and so many different packs. You can totally buy them separately, individually. But what we often find is if you want to get 3 oils or more, you're better off getting a starter pack. I only chose 2 starter packs to show you guys, and I chose the ones that are most relevant. This is called the Family Essentials. So if you have a family like kids and other adults, but it's such a great pet pack as well. It has the top 10 oils, but I'm going to read off for you. Well, from this list, you can see most of them we've discussed today, right? Lemon oil, lavender, peppermint, Tea tree was the one that I said you probably don't really want to use with dogs, but you can still have it in your home for nits and dandruff for yourself. Or what else would we use it on? Yeah, it's like an antiseptic but I probably wouldn't be mopping my floor and using it for the dog. Balance, remember the balance was the one for the sibling rivalry, or if you're feeling really anxious, or frustrated, you can help yourself calm down, which helps your dog calm down. The tummy one, it also comes with eucalyptus. It's another respiratory one. The respiratory one we just talked about, Easy Air. On Guard, which I thought I had a picture of, which is basically your immunity oil. It's got cloves and cinnamon in it. And so that's amazing. Let's say for humans, if you feel like you're getting a sore throat, put it in water, drink it, put it in the diffuser, rub it topically on your throat. It's amazing. It helps you bring you back when you feel like you're going downhill. Same thing with your pets. I don't know if your pets get seasonal, if they pick up colds, or sometimes they do get a runny nose, or maybe if they're going to the kennel or something like that, but you could definitely use that in the diffuser as well. You can happily use it for yourself, and it'll benefit the dog. Also, it comes with frankincense, which is
just on that On Guard. I have to take Valentine to the doctors the vet, and I knew that the dog before me had actually parvovirus.
Right.
So what I did was I took On Guard and put On Guard on her, so that I was giving her the best protection against anything that might have been in the environment, because there was
absolutely. I think that's such a good point. Like if you're going to the vet, or you're going to doggy daycare, or you're going to see a friend and their dog's not been well, or whatever, I don't know. Like if your dogs, and I imagine Yorkies possibly being smaller are quite susceptible. I don't know. Are they more sensitive than some other dogs to things? I don't know, but I think that's a great idea. So this is called, On Guard is called the protective blend. It almost like puts a layer of protection. So it's a great one to have in your kit. So that's why I love this pack so much. It is called the Family Essentials, but I'm going to call it the Pet Essentials today. I don't know I think it comes with a little bottle. Okay, Kath, it comes with a mini bottle of coconut oil, so smaller than the one I'm showing you here, but that's all you would need. And the bottles in this picture are 5 ml, so they're slightly smaller. I'm going to show you the difference here. Tell me if you can see this. Okay, this one, the bigger one is the 15 ml, and this one is the 5 ml. Okay, so it comes with,
because you've got a virtual screen behind you. Could you just hold it a little bit more, and I'll tell you when it's
in front of me.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, got it. So the 5 ml it's the baby bottle, and the other one is the 15 ml. In a moment, I'm going to show you the difference. It's just up to you. It's just a price thing. With the starter packs, you also get a free wholesale membership. It just means if you want to order more oils, like you might go, oh, I really want to get the juniper berry later, or I really want to get, the aroma touch later. It'll be wholesale prices, so 25% off. Okay, so that's that one. Home Essentials, it's exactly the same, you guys, exactly the same oils. The only difference is the size of the bottles, okay? Exactly the same oils, but the price is bigger because you get 3 times as much oil. So it's really up. It depends what you want to do. You can also add, if you want, a diffuser. So some people go, yep, I want to get the Family Essentials. That's fine. $200 or whatever. That's fine. I think I'll get the wooden diffuser because I like it better. Or I think I'll get that pedal diffuser because it's slightly cheaper. Sorry, my prices are a little bit off. The fractionated coconut oil is $19, but you guys get one with those packs, so you don't really need it. But yeah, you can add a diffuser if you want.
So Natalie, you've had the little petal one, but this one's in my office at the moment.
Thank you.
And honestly, I burn all those oils, and right next to me, I've got the 2 little ones.
It's quite amazing. Like when my kids were little, even, they'd come home from school and they'd be a little like grumpy or scratchy or angry. And I just would have, the lavender and the lemon puffing away, and it just really changes the mood of the house. So they're great from a medicinal perspective if someone's sick or needs to breathe better, but also just for a general mood shift in the house. You can make everyone calm, or everyone just a little bit more elevated and happy. So thank you, Cathy's holding up the Lumo diffuser. It is slightly bigger than the pedal diffuser, but they both have the same features. They have a light that you can turn off or on. They have a setting that means you can go, as you can see on my slideshow here, you can set it for 2 hours or 5 hours or 10 hours. The 10-hour setting, it goes 5 minutes on it's intermittent. So then it turns itself off for 5 minutes and it goes back on. So that way you can have it going all night long if you want it going all night long for either calming or breathing sinuses or whatever, snoring or whatever the case may be. So what I've aimed to do today, you guys, is to cover, I think it was about 10 probably, essential, meaning really critical and helpful oils that can help empower you as a pet owner, so that if something's going on with your pet, you're kind of equipped, you know, you're ready to go. If anyone that does want to get something, so in terms of next step, if you want to shop, I'll give you guys my link. I'll put it in the chat when I come back from the screen share. So that's the link. I'll just put it in the chat. It's mydoterra.com/upyourbrave, and you'll see a picture of me there. And that just means that you're going to be my customer and I will be here for you. You can literally text me and ask me stuff. I'm such a nerd. I love when people ask me questions. I do have a Facebook group as well that you're welcome to join if you want to. And I have a whole bunch of other videos. Or if you feel like you'd rather just chat through, you've got a few other things with your animal or maybe your own personal health and wellness, and you want to talk to me personally, I do a 20-minute free Zoom or phone call. And I have a special link for that, but I'll put that in the chat, but I just put my phone number down as well. So I hope that helps. And I hope that was really helpful for you guys.
That was very, very interesting. Thank you, Natalie. That was great.
No problem.
That was really good. Thank you.
No
Just
worries.
a quick question before you go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Oh,
you're way better now. It's all good.
Can you swap around what is in the starter pack, or can you get a pack of ones of your own choice, or is it really just those set ones?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I often will sometimes I'll make it like a bespoke box, you know what I mean? Like swap a few things out for people. I was going to do a little bonus tonight, or any of your people, Cathy, that weren't able to make it, but that can watch this video. I usually go, if you get a starter pack, whichever size, or whatever combination you want to order. Yes, you can do a pick and mix order to answer your question. Like if you go, I don't really want those oils. I want like half of those, but I want different ones. Anyone that wants to order and from your group, I'm more than happy to, I do like a little bonus. So I'll throw in like a little bonus oil, probably an oil for you if you want something for, you know, something you can roll on your wrists, or just a little bonus oil. So yeah, we can do a pick and mix order, but I really think like the value wise, if you do the math and you price out each of those oils, I think what it is, you save over $150 getting the pack rather than if you were to mathematically get them all. But, you know, just let me know which ones you're thinking. Like, give me basically from today, I'd say write down your wish list. You know, what are the oils, like, you know, whatever, what are the oils that you would just love to have in your home, that you'd love to have handy for your pet's health and wellness, but probably you also want to think about yourself. And then we can put together like what is going to be the best package. I mean, we do have one that's $700 and it's called the Nature Solutions, and it's got a lot more, and we've got the emotional wellness kit. But I really just wanted to show you guys the 2 packs that I think are most relevant for pets and for pet owners. So I put my link. Hopefully you can, maybe Cathy can email it out to you, but that's my link for shopping. And you just go to the website. In fact, I'll just screen share it with you. You just go to the website like this, and you simply can either go, I would go either shop, you click, can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You either click shop right there, or you click join and save. And let's say you were to click join and save. All you do is you go, well, I'm not in America, even though I am that's Canadian accent. I'm in Auckland. So you just click New Zealand, and then you just go continue. And what it does, and you go New Zealand, it'll just show you only the New Zealand products. And I think it's free shipping if you order like $100 or more. And you just do this. You just select your products. You go, oh, I want to get the Family Essentials kit. It's $200. It's going to get shipped to my door. It includes the wholesale account, and Nat's going to post me a separate bonus oil, winning. You know, we do have lots of other stuff. I don't want to get too overwhelming, but that's the home essentials. That's the bigger bottles. And that is the smaller bottles. Those are the 2 packs that I showed you. Those are really the packs that I recommend. But as you can see, there's lots of options.
Natalie,
cool.
On this particular one, while you are there, we've spoken about the diffusers. And for anyone, I don't know if anyone's got little kiddos, there is the cutest panda diffuser.
Oh, I think it's a koala.
It's a koala.
Yeah.
But it's super cute. So kids could have it in their rooms. But Natalie, to support what you've said around the oils, I mean, people that know me know I've got 2 geriatric dogs, and they are so way past their expiry date. Their breed standard says 12 years old, and the one is heading for 17.
Wow.
I have from day one used oils around them. They've had oils in the diffusers. They've had oils around. The cats have had oils around them. So I honestly, you know, from my perspective, I've even gone down the path of doing something Natalie said you mustn't do. And that was when we migrated with our little licorice all sorts. She was a cross between a Scottie and a Yorkshire Terrier, and I don't know what else was in her. But when we migrated with her, she was a VIP dog from nowhere and a real pavement special. She'd been in quarantine back in the day for 9 months. And when I brought her into New Zealand, her being exposed to New Zealand germs was just awful. And I did the vet trips because she kept on getting diarrhea and she kept on getting vomiting. And I did the vet trips, and I did 3 vet trips. And then I thought, she can't do this anymore. And Natalie, everyone should close their ears, but I put a drop of tea tree into her mouth. I never saw the vet again. It stopped that like an instant, and we were good. There was obviously just something there that I needed to sort.
Yeah, well, they are so effective and they are so powerful, and that's why everyone's got my message about you just use it a little bit. They're going to last you ages. It's really empowering, you know, just having something at your fingertips that you can help a dog or a child or yourself with. So yeah, I hope that's been helpful, you guys. I just put a little link in the chat if anyone did want to book a chat with me to ask more stuff. Who we got there? Who we got there?
Valentine. You want to smell Valentine? We'll see how she likes. I mean, she's used to the oils. Yeah, look.
No problems at all.
She's like, yeah, Mom.
Yeah, we give you some adaptive. Look, this is the adaptive one. Oops. What's that one like? Oh, it's good.
That's cute.
And this is the Aroba Touch one. Just the ones that I had on my desk. Oh, they're all good. Okay. Go back.
Yeah. So cute. Oh, a little safety oil hack that I think I'll mention as well is if you ever get oils, this is for you or your dog, but on your lips or in your eyes, you know, when it can really like peppermint or something, don't put water on. You put coconut oil. This is a really good life hack, okay? Because the water just exacerbates the problem. So if you did buy get something on, or let's say you put cinnamon oil on a cut, you know, or something like that, you want to put coconut oil on to dilute. So there you go. Good to know.
If anyone's really confused, I mean, I'm sure that you would be happy, as you gave your phone number already, for them to call you if they wanted to ask any questions, or even.
Yeah, I have a booking link, but if that's too high tech, or if you can't find anything, because I am quite busy, that's fine. Just send me a text and I'll ring you back, or just give me a call and I'll answer it if I can. Yeah, more than happy.
Thank you.
I'm going to hand over to you just to see if you've got any final questions before I thank Natalie for her time and all the work that she's done to prepare for the session. Was there anything from your side, Di?
I know my brain's buzzing. I think really you've covered what I've really thought. Oh, I had one question. What is hot oils? I've seen that mentioned. Did I miss something there and not take it in? Hot oils.
Oh, yeah, I'll talk about that. That's right. Someone asked that. So a hot oil would be something like oregano, which it's not one that I mentioned, but you actually can use that. I'm pretty sure you can definitely use it with animals, but it's one that you would never rub topically on your throat or pat your dog with or anything. So it's one that we would use normally with a toothpick or cotton bud. You know, we wouldn't even put a drop or two in our hands. It's really used so it's an antiseptic, antifungal, like very powerful. It's really used for something like warts, to burn off a wart. It's a burning oil. That's why we call it hot, like it burns. So you would put a little bit of oregano on, let's say a cotton bud, and you would put it right on the wart. This is if you're a human or a dog, but probably if it's a dog, I would definitely dilute it. So that's, and then sometimes we would use a little bit in our cooking, but again, we'd only use a toothpick and we just stir the toothpick because it's so strong. So that's what we mean by hot oils, is the ones like that. And oregano is pretty much the standout. I mean, On Guard is quite strong as well. If you were to put it on your throat directly with no coconut oil, it would probably make a red patch on your throat, you know, and then you have to quickly add coconut oil. So those would be probably two of the like hot oils. Yeah.
Okay, I just picked it up in the writing and I thought, oh, I don't think I remember saying something about that. So I thought
Oregano is not,
yeah.
it doesn't come in either of those kits that I mentioned, but you certainly could use it. And it would be more for like a diarrhea, vomiting, like you'd use it kind of for that. It's one of the oils you don't use very often, but sometimes it can be handy if you need it. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Natalie. That's great.
No worries. Great. Good to talk to you guys. Good to see you. I do loads of classes on oils for cooking and oils for sleep and stress and teenagers and everything, but it was really nice to talk about dogs tonight. So thank you guys.
Mandy, Cathy, any final questions from yourself, and Renee? Any final questions from you?
No, nothing from me, Cathy. Yeah, some really helpful tips for little Cleo that I can take away, especially for the car around anxiety, and just a calming one. So thank you very much.
That's amazing. And what about the, we talked earlier about the dog being spayed and things. So I talked about frankincense and cedarwood for that.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, leave it a few days and not the fresh wound, but around it.
Yeah.
And Natalie, before I, thank you. I picked up a few things. I picked up the Copa Heba, and I also picked up the balance, because I sit with one that gets incredibly car sick. She almost makes it through most of the journeys, but the moment I head into any hills, does it. Jen Zest helped me actually get through the hills before she did the deed, but I'm just going to try the Copa Heba and the balance. And the diffuser that I use in the car is actually the portable diffuser. So not the one that, it's the one that actually sits and is supercharged.
Yeah.
And then it just goes in the car, and is quite a nice one to use.
Yeah, cool. I think that's a really good point, because it's like if you do a tummy oil plus an anxiety oil, you're covering both bases, because it's not just that they're physically not well, they're anxious about driving. So you're calming them down, you're giving them the tummy oil. It's going to be a game changer.
Excellent. Well, Natalie, I can only say a huge thank you on behalf of everyone in the group for coming along and sharing your expertise, your knowledge, and I always think your enthusiasm. There's very few people that have much super bunny powers as what you do. So thank you very much, Nats, for coming along and sharing with us. To the ladies that are sitting here from our Facebook groups, do you think Di and I should be putting our heads together to do more such talks? Do you think this has been of value, and do you think there'll be value for the rest of the group members?
For myself, I'm really keen to get some. I have a few doTERRA oils, not very many. I've got the On Guard and a couple of others, but I'm definitely going to start using them around my dogs now, which I hadn't thought of before. So I think it's brilliant. Yeah.
Amazing.
Excellent.
And also, Kath, if you want to send me a photo or a list of what you have, I can tell you how to use them. The ones that you've got, if you're not sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I need to get a new diffuser as well and stuff. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the recording. Once I find out where it is, it's up there. I'll